tonight. And what a slate of 5 straight playoff opponents. And I think this is the week that decides the 1 or 2 seed in the Western Conference.
I couldn't agree more, Bob.
Vince Carter working it at 40 years of age and still getting it done. Draymond Green's got a lot of Zach Randolph to deal with tonight. Steph Curry and Mike Conley will be the marquee matchup to keep an eye on at our Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the Golden State Warriors, it will be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Zaza Pachulia, Draymond Green, and Patrick McCaw. For a Memphis team that has beaten the Warriors twice this year, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, Zach Randolph, JaMychal Green, and Vince Carter for David Fizdale, and a team that plays exceptionally hard. But Memphis can lose to Brooklyn, but then beat San Antonio. They're a very intriguing squad.
I'm telling you right now, 5, 6, and 7 is up for grabs. Of course, the Clippers blew an 18-point lead today in the 4th quarter. So now they are 44-31. OKC 41-30. And Memphis 40-32. A week and a half ago, it was 1.5 games between the 5, 6, 7 spots. But maybe they want to play San Antonio. I talked to Zach Randolph before the game about that, and he was kind of surprised that the Clippers lost today.
Derek Stafford, Courtney Kirkland, Gediminas Petraeus will blow the whistles tonight. Yeah, that Clipper game, they blew an 18-point lead with 5 minutes left.
Crazy.
That hasn't happened in the NBA at all this season in any game. That's a loss that stings.
And this was a home game.
To Sacramento. So the Warriors forcing the early turnover. You put Allen on Curry on the switch, so Conley's got Klay. Klay Thompson battling out that 3. Zaza giving the Warriors an extra opportunity. But there's Tony Allen. And a good look at what Memphis does. Outstanding defensive team.
Well, that was just a lazy telegraph pass. I mean, Tony Allen said, that's the easiest steal I'll get.
Draymond hitting a 3. He took 9 of them the other night, made 3. Teams are daring him to hit triples. All right.
The Warriors only shot well from 3-point range in 1 of the 3 games so far. They shot under 33%, 27%.
McCaw knocked that away from Conley. And then Pat slicing to the lane. It just couldn't get the angle. And not bothered him enough.
It was timed perfectly by both Curry and the young rookie. I mean, just perfectly done. Just couldn't finish, McCaw.
Here we go. Michigan State against Michigan State. Draymond repelled Zebo, wants it on the repost.
I think he's better off defensively if he faces up like that. Now, that's his range. But you still, the lesser of evils. When he gets in the lane, tough to stop.
So the Warriors firing some 3s early. 3 of their first 4 shots, triples. Draymond knocked it away. The man who leads the NBA in steals. Zaza's got Vince Carter on him. Talk about a lot of experience. Curry's going to hit that because Zach Randolph's never going to venture out to the 3-point line.
He does not want to leave the basket area. It's painful for him to come out that far, either on offense or defense.
Conley very clever. He and Randolph running that 2-man game. You see Zach gets a lot of ISOs here. And Randolph doing work outside and now inside.
He knows his way around the painted area, around the rim. He hardly has to even look at the hoop. He's been there so often through all the years. We're talking 17 of them.
Draymond, nice extra pass there. And Zaza able to convert. And you've got to move the ball. That extra pass against Memphis, if it sticks, they can really lock you up.
If you hold the ball against this team, they love to play half-court defense. You play right into their hands. I know Conley's 40% this year from 3. You got to watch it.
Randolph kept it alive, but Curry came back to help. Anytime the Warriors can get early offense, they're going to do it. Stephen Finch, how about Zaza? Another opportunity, Klay Thompson. And a well-contested 3 by Allen.
I thought Curry had the lane on the right side of the basket, and Zach Randolph wasn't even looking. That's why he went and stormed to the rim, but he made it more difficult than it had to be. Kind of puzzling there.
Allen's a slasher. That's his game right there, but it doesn't go down. And Klay Thompson breaking out of the pack.
Allen's a heck of a rebounder for his size, too. And he'll get offensive rebounds for you.
Draymond, a transition three.
Seems you can't beat these guys easily. You got to do the dirty work.
Our roundtable key to the game, Jimmy, what do you got?
Well, you better be ready for the physicality of Memphis and the pressure they're going to put on you, particularly Stephen Curry. I say defend the three-point line. You know, not a great three-point shooting team, but in their wins, they shoot 40% from three-point range, and that's why you got to defend it and make them shoot less than that.
And it's such a departure than recent years. Remember, Memphis was at the bottom. They could never make a three.
No.
David Fisdale has them 19th in three-point percentage, but Jim's point is the best one. When they're hitting threes, they're almost unbeatable.
Exactly. This guy, just like Memphis, flying under the radar just because the city. There's a nice steal.
Curry, pick Conley's pocket.
See how they run it. There it is.
Drop it off.
Oh, strip that one, record it, put it in the books. You make the lone defender defend the man with the ball as far as you can, and you drop it back and see what you get. That's perfectly done. Beautiful.
Draymond Green, JaMychal Green, no relation there. And JaMychal, Steph had occupied him. Draymond got the dunk. Vince Carter off iron, and a rebounding foul on the Dubs.
We're going to call this on Draymond. Ball came right to him. Here's the steal, the poke away by Stephen. So you've got one defender, JaMychal Green, and you just make him play Stephen Curry. Stephen did. He goes right toward the basket. He's got to play him, otherwise he lays it up.
See JaMychal Green work it inside. He draws the foul there. Very clever how they got him posted on McCaw there.
Well, JaMychal Green got his chance here in Memphis, not drafted, and you can see that's just a perfect catch because he'd already blocked off his defender, McCaw. Perfectly done, and that's a nice entry pass to the right side of his man.
So good beginning for both teams. Zaza rolling, and Vince Carter. It's a Zaza offensive foul warding off Vince Carter. Ends up being the call.
Well, he goes with the left arm for the shot. Let's see what he does with the right. Well, at the last bit, maybe he pushed off a little bit, but I've always said, what are you supposed to do with that free arm? You can't hang it down by the waist and play like it's limp.
They're looking for cutters. JaMychal Green, well defended by Draymond. That's why the Warriors defend the best against the three-point line. Selling out against shooters. Steph got out of rhythm there off the dribble. The Warriors have opened 4 of 11. Memphis 4 of 8. There is JaMychal Green.
That's what he brings. He's got size, physicality, and he's got quickness, which Zach Randolph doesn't have any longer.
Steve Kerr going to use the timeout as Memphis, this is exactly the type of game they want. Bottle up the Warriors, hang around, and try to take it at the end.
Full arena, all tied up between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. David West has everyone's respect. That's what Draymond Green says, and he said David is just a no-nonsense type of guy. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it means a lot. And I spoke to David West about it, and he said, I add my 2 cents where it fits. I try not to overtalk people and speak to guys directly. Guys, I remember when Steve Kerr once said, everyone knows better than to mess with David West. And David West went on to explain himself. He said, I just try to be myself. Everyone says I'm a little too serious, but that's just who I am. When it's time to work, we work. And that's it. Guys?
Well, Roz, you have different team components, and there's a lot of young men on the Warriors. David West is a grown man, and you see that in a lot of different ways.
Good point. When you talk to him, he's very pleasant. And a smile just erupts on his face.
Klay Thompson missing from the baseline.
But I think sometimes they're afraid to talk to him.
Watch how many contested shots Memphis makes the Warriors take. There's always a Grizzly in their airspace. Great credit to David Fisdale and Keith Smart, just how hard Memphis plays night in, night out.
Well, David Fisdale has paid his dues. All those years in Miami didn't hurt him, did it?
Shot clock at 1. Conley It's a 24-second violation. Zaza came close.
Well, he just almost ran into a foul there, which would have been disastrous. But the shot clock went out just prior to any kind of tripping or contact.
Iguodala will check in. Livingston will be coming in next.
Iguodala, what a second half of the season he is having, Bob. He's 35.5 from three-point range, and as you mentioned last game, he's over 70% free throw line now.
He really has asserted himself when Durant was injured. Andre just assessed the team needed an infusion from him, and he has answered the bell.
That's what's great about veterans. They see the big picture. They know what you need.
All these Grizzly deflections leading to turnovers and steals.
Checking into the game first time this evening, number 34, Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston checking in. James Ennis will check in for Memphis. And when you play the Grizzlies too, Jim, there's no automatic passes. There's no easy passes. Everything has to be taken care of in the half-court offense.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, all the scouting and all the film they've watched, all the tape, I should say, they see what you're trying to do with the offense, so they're looking for cutters. And they're speaking of a cutter,
Tony Allen's game.
You got to play toward the ball side of your defender. You always have to play ball side.
Iguodala right off the bench and right into the bucket. Drop it in that three.
Not surprising. It sure is nice.
When you hit perimeter shots, you do loosen up the Memphis half-court D. But the Warriors are 3 of 8 now on threes. It's something to keep an eye on. And JaMychal Green has had a beautiful beginning. He's got 8 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Curry, off iron there. How about Zaza on the offensive glass? Got a foul inside as Andre was looking. Michael Green will pick up the personal. So James Ennis in, Andrew Harrison in to play with Allen, Vince Carter, and Zach Randolph. And here comes JaVale McGee for the Dubs.
JaMychal Green getting a rest. I love those guys that were never drafted. He's got 8 points already.
Zaza's got 4 rebounds, and Klay Thompson a deep 2 on the inbound.
This is a game against a team like Memphis who just play every quarter like it's the fourth quarter. You just have to concentrate all of the time with this group.
Look at the rebound by Ennis. See, Memphis gets it. They're not going to quick shot you. They're going to grind you down again, use that clock, find Zebo on the ISO. Great double team there, had to give it up. Shot clock at 7. Andrew Harrison, that's an air ball pass to Vince Carter.
Shades of 1983, North Carolina State.
You're going Sidney Lowe to Derek Whittenburg? I like that.
It was Lorenzo Charles.
Yeah. I didn't know which guard you wanted to throw in the pass.
Well, Whittenburg took the shot. He took it from way beyond three-point range, and it fell a little short to the right. And Hakeem Olajuwon, you don't want to go up there and interfere with it and get goaltending. And so Lorenzo Charles comes in from the baseline.
Phi Slamma Jamma got jammed themselves.
Yeah, that was. And it's, of course, we've all seen the 30 for 30. I've seen that about 5 times.
Yeah, well, now, while we're on the Final Four, Oregon, first time since 1939 making the Final Four.
I know it.
You were a junior that year? Or?
Yeah, well, I was a senior. I was a senior, and it's nice. 2 of my teammates are still alive. One of them was 101, and the other was 98.
Zach Randolph hitting another wing jumper.
I can tell you something funny, though. I will after we see what happens here.
JaVale couldn't get an angle off glass, and Memphis, they got the defensive hard hat on tonight.
13 years, oh no, I guess it was 23 years after they won that. I did go in Roland, Oregon, just 23 years later.
Okay.
That's close enough.
Andrew Harrison hitting a 3. So you get an idea. Memphis has beaten the Warriors twice. The rookie of Kentucky gives them a 6-point lead, and the crowd getting a little restless here. That pass off JaVale's hands, but fortunately batted out of bounds.
Grizzlies.
Nothing easy against the Grizz. 2:45 remaining in the first, and Memphis up 6. A little early start time, but Memphis right on time with a solid defense. Our Lexus experience amazing. Curry to Iguodala, the 180 finish. And that was the highlight of Friday night's victory over the Kings. That was a Lexus experience amazing play. The Warriors unable to get out and run against Memphis. Are shooting 6 of 17. But another 30 assist night against Sac, 44 times, the new franchise record.
I like what you said last game about last time that happened was the 84-85 Lakers.
Yeah.
And that raised my eyebrows a little bit.
Estot, Sean Livingston with the mid-range, and we check in with Roz.
In that last timeout, Coach Kerr told the team, we've got to generate some pace. The game is totally their pace. We've got to get the ball moving.
That is, it's a game of tempo when you play Memphis. It's like a boxer getting you into the corners and the clinch and working the body. This will miss that 3, and off these misses can the Warriors run. Steph in transition, Iguodala to JaVale McGee to lay it in and draw the foul. Right on cue, the Warriors get out and run.
Just time enough to gather here. You'll have a great angle to see this. Bounce pass is done perfectly. The timing was perfect. And McGee protected that ball really well. That's what he did. He protected the ball. As they tried to foul him, they should have grabbed his right arm a little stronger.
Such a great point there, Jim. You know, JaVale wants to go up and dunk and things like that a lot, but that one he said, they're going to foul me, so let me keep 2 hands on the ball, take that contact and finish.
Yeah, and move the ball to the side away from the defender.
And it gets him the 3-point play. Well done. So Brandon Wright, the former Warrior, has checked in. Played in 18 games this year. He can be a problem on the offensive glass. Got right on Livingston. Sean is fronting. Now he's got it. Harrison had hit 1 shot. Michael Green. Oh, man. He's got 8. Add that to make it the double digits. Draymond missing there. JaVale the offensive rebound. 13 on the shot clock. Warriors making Memphis work. And Curry drops in a 3. We've already had 8 lead changes and 3 ties, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
Don't expect anything less with them. They already beat the Warriors here in overtime once. That's a nice finish. He slipped through the defenders. He got thin.
Well, depending on how this week goes, if the Warriors end up with a 2 seed, Memphis could have the 7 seed. Then you could play this team in a 7-game series. Iguodala soaring and spiking with a right hand.
2 things happen. When you get a dunk in a half-court situation, particularly against Memphis, you've made one heck of a move, or the defense just fell asleep. A little of both, maybe. But that's how you make your first step and your dribble count for you.
Conley well defended by Steph, and he hit a 3 anyway. That's better offense beating good defense.
Or they can't quite run the clock out. A 3 will tie it.
3-second game shot clock difference. Finishing this first quarter. It's been everything advertised. Steph on the reload. Brandon Wright did enough to bother him. Iguodala nearly knocked it away. You got to stop Conley here at 2. And that will not count. So the Grizzlies shoot 62%. They limit the Warriors to 43% shooting. Memphis, perfect script. And after 12 minutes, they have the 3-point lead. And it's JaMychal Green leading the way for the Grizz. Grizzlies lead by 3. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Goldon Woode with you. But Memphis, 62% shooting. Rebounding battle okay, 11-9, favoring the Grizzlies. Well, tempo decidedly Memphis.
Fewer rebounds to have, too, when they shoot 62%. Well,
Brandon Wright knocked it away from David West.
Both teams have turned it over. 4 for the Warriors, 5 for Memphis.
Michael Green knocking that out of bounds. So Iguodala in Clark's first action with Matt Barnes, David West, and Klay Thompson. So Conley, James Ennis, Brandon Wright, Andrew Harrison, and JaMychal Green for Memphis. David always looking for cutters, but knocked away nicely. And the lob to Brandon Wright.
Well, Memphis has lost 2 in a row. You can see they're a little hungry today. And by the way, on their schedule, they're through with Houston, 2-2 with them. They're 1-2 against OKC, 2-1 against San Antonio. Let's look at this drive in the last quarter for Iguodala. He gets it out on the wing. And we're going to stop it right here. Here's his pivot foot. But watch his lead foot. That's what he's going to drive with. We don't have enough time to really show you. But he drives off his lead foot. There's no negative step, and it's 1 dribble to the rim. 1 dribble to the rim. That's what you call efficiency and having a good first step.
Klay Thompson hitting a 3. And Iguodala, perfect footwork on that drive. And then Klay fouling Conley.
Where's foul charge to Klay Thompson, first personal, first team foul. 11 Mike Conley.
So Mike Conley, who just gets better and better, 45% from the field, 40% on threes, averaging 20 a game to lead Memphis. Conley and Westbrook, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, these point guards in the West measure themselves against each other. And so these head-to-head matchups, it's kind of the game within the game.
We'll talk about that 5-6-7 matchup. And they've got to play OKC once and San Antonio back-to-back, April 4th and 5th. Back-to-back.
It'll decide a few things.
Yes, it will.
But there are teams that sometimes just don't match up well against each other. Memphis is a good matchup against the Spurs and a good matchup against the Warriors. And Clark having it knocked away. It's Warrior ball. Courtney Kirkland asked for help right away, and Gediminas Petraeus was ready. You know who I think is a bad matchup for Memphis is Houston. I think they get up and down and shoot so many threes, it just takes Memphis out of their rhythm.
They've split the series with Houston. And ironically, with Houston, they lost home and away. They won home and away as well.
One thing you can tell with Memphis, they don't fear the Warriors. They've had so much success. As Klay misses on the inbounds jumper.
Especially if they have Gasol on the court.
Right.
Because he's the one player that I think gives Draymond Green more trouble than anyone.
Iguodala, beautiful steal. Iguodala hand fighting down the lane to finish. Oh, what a play, Andre Iguodala.
Well, he didn't go behind the back like he did in Sacramento, but both times he made him so effective. I loved his tempo there. Got control of the ball, just let his defender run by him underneath. He wasn't a factor. It's all about pace, change of direction, change. Oh, this is going to be 3 free throws. Change of direction and change of tempo. Now Iguodala, he's racing right here against James Ennis, the third. And Ennis racing for the ball, had his back to his offensive player at that time, so he knew he had him in his hip pocket. Did Andre?
Yeah, Ian fighting over the screen's one thing, but you don't want to foul Conley and give up the 3 free throws there. Not at 85%. Take the Warriors on the go this season. Stream games on CSNBayArea.com and the NBC Sports app. Brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers. Tony Allen in. Andrew Harrison will sit. Harrison hit that 3 in his 8 minutes. Mike Conley dropping in all the free throws, 5 of 5 from the line. He's got 8. Jermichael Green's got 8. Iguodala 7 and Steph 6, pacing the Warriors. David on the return feed, and he will go to the line. You know, I think it's good, and David West and Iguodala just did it. You have to get to the foul line a little bit against Memphis, because even if the officials don't get in the habit of blowing the whistles, the Grizzlies will foul you pretty much every possession. They're very physical. It's part of their game. It's what they teach. And you've got to almost educate the officials in terms of getting to the line against this team.
Well, that's, David West did that perfectly right there. He put his arms there right into Tony Allen. He wanted to make sure he got the foul call.
Because the Warriors had shot 1 free throw in the first 15 minutes of the game at home against Memphis, and that's not a good thing.
There's only one other team that commits more fouls, by the way, than Memphis in the entire league, and that's Phoenix. And we know what their record is.
Memphis does it by design. Phoenix does it because they have a lot of young kids that are figuring out how to play. Shot clock at 4. Michael Green, have yourself a game.
What a pickup. Third-year player out of Alabama, not drafted. He's 26 years of age.
He only averages 9 a game, and he's already got 10. Memphis would play at this tempo all game. Never think twice about it. Shot clock at 5. Iguodala, a tough turnaround. David West is there and just tipped it off iron. Ian trying to save it, unable to do so.
Well, Iguodala didn't make that shot, but I'll tell you what, he's got his legs back. That looked very strong.
8.5 left in the first half. Grizzlies up 6. Put you into a pretzel. As the Grizzlies lead by 6 here. Our Geico Advanced Analytics, the second chance points and offensive rebounds. Without Durant, the Warriors have more second chance points. You know why? Because they miss more shots. And that's been the biggest issue. But they are getting on the glass more. But there are more available rebounds without KD.
Always turn negatives into positives.
That's it. Kevin Durant ramping up that rehab workout. Watched his pregame workout. Clock never moved. Shot clock stayed at 24, so they're going to adjust that.
Mike Conley looked back like, gee, Gadaminas, did I not get across in 8 seconds? I'm pretty quick about that.
The Warriors struggled the first 6 without KD. They've been perfect the last 6. This week will test them. 5 straight playoff opponents, all of whom have beaten the Warriors at least once this year. And right, you see that length, but Barnes bothered him just enough.
Heck of a pass from Conley to get it.
Iguodala head down, and then the kick back. Open 3. And the Warriors 5 of 14 on threes, and they're shooting 41% in the game.
Klay Thompson did a super job smothering Conley there. They couldn't come up with it. Vince Carter, the 7th game he started this year today.
Carter knocked away by Barnes. Michael Green's been Johnny on the spot everywhere. It's trite and overused in terms of, well, you just have to make shots. But against Memphis, you do.
Yes.
When you get an open, you have to make shots against this team. Their defense is that good. You get nothing easy.
You got Iguodala 33 going against Carter, who's 44. And Vince told me before the game he's going to play another year. He's not through.
Iguodala foul shooting at 3.
Speaking of the 2.
Andre, an opportunity for a 4-point play.
A little skip pass and the rotation. And I don't know where they found the foul there. Vince never came off the floor. He's in a quandary about it. Not many players I can say, the offensive player and the defensive player, and you add up their ages, they're older than I am.
Okay. And the Warriors and Grizzlies, they foul a lot on threes, but they're number 1 and number 9 in defending the threes. And so part of that, you're going to have some contact. Iguodala 11 points and just a confidence. It's so much fun to watch.
As we were going to break a moment ago, a little while ago, I said, he's got his legs back. You know, he left the game against Sacramento early to get leg treatment in the fourth quarter. He's got him back now. He looks spry, young, and energized.
Vince Carter moving out that three. Rebound battle. Good work, Klay Thompson.
That's a great battle between Klay Thompson and Tony Allen at both ends.
David back to Klay Thompson. Beautifully done. The Warriors pulled it within 2, and we check in with Roz. And we will do that after the timeout.
Tony Allen got caught napping there. He thought the play was over, and Klay Thompson just kept going and got a layup.
Within 2, and the Warriors get back in it. 6.5 remaining in the first half. Our McDonald's true story. The 98 draft recap. Remember, Antoine Jamison, Vince Carter traded on draft day. Both had phenomenal careers. Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce, 3 of these guys are still active.
That's a great draft for longevity and talent.
How about the out-of-bounds play run by Memphis? Tony Allen, the dunk in the half court. They lifted all the Warriors out of the lane.
Back on the floor.
Steph Curry back in. Draymond, Sean, Ian Clark, and David West. Draymond is fouled. Roz was ready to jump in on Iguodala. What do you got?
Yeah, thanks for reteeing me, Bob. Andre Iguodala has been playing great, and Steve Kerr's been really high on him. He said the way he's pushing the ball relentlessly right now, the way he's getting out and running in wings, Steve said he looks as good as I've seen him since the finals 2 years ago when he was MVP. He's got that kind of bounce to his step right now.
No, and it's just what Jim said in terms of his legs. You see the energy and also the assessment that without Durant, what the Warriors needed. And Andre's been there.
It shows. It's on display. I didn't hear Steve Kerr make those comments or anything at all. You can just tell it. And it's very visible.
Nice mid-range by Draymond Green. Harrison and Ian. Zebo and David West. Talk about strength on strength.
Had to get out of the lane. They didn't give it to Carter.
Allen nearly traveled, and Randolph benefited. Zach Randolph's got 8. Ian Clark with a quick 3. Get those early shots before the Memphis defense can get set.
It helps. 2 ways. Number 1, before they get set. Number 2, you get offensive rebounds that way because they're scattered, a lot of times out of position. Carter wants the ball. He's demanding to get it. He's still not going to get it.
Shot clock's at 0 as Ennis just throws up a prayer. It did hit iron, and Clark breaks out of the pack. Ian speed dribbling. Memphis, all 5 white jerseys get back in the lane. Ball hopping around nicely. There's still 12 to shoot. Curry missing that too.
That's how good the defense is. To stay with everybody on that passing play like they had, that's good defense.
Steph is 2 of 8. Klay is 3 of 8. Given that, the Warriors being down 1 is a good sign.
No question, yep.
Randolph missing. Ian Clark's become a rebounder. Getting all the scatter 50-50 balls, which are huge. Ian Clark missing that wing jumper there. But even the quickening of tempo, the Warriors just feel better, Jim.
Yes,
you know, Memphis gets it, and they want to slow it down again. Steph gave ground, came up with the steal.
That's how to move your feet.
Draymond will push.
If the pass were online, he had a 3.
Draymond was fouled.
It's very important. I can't overemphasize. To make a pass, throw it where the potential shooter wants to catch it. Waist level, maybe a little above, but right into the hands. If they have to stoop and reach for it, it just throws your shot off. You're out of rhythm. There was no hurry on that play.
It's a good word, rhythm. When the Warriors have all their pregame warm-ups, the coaches focus on right in the shooting pocket when they deliver the ball.
Absolutely.
They get guys practicing exactly where they like it. Warriors season ticket priority list at 38,000 and counting. your chance to get priority presale access to playoff tickets and the best possible season tickets the moment they become available at 888-GSW-HOOP. Press 1 with representatives ready to help you. 38,000, Jim. That'd be a really long line. When you think of 38,000 people waiting for Warriors season tickets. Draymond missed the second. Randolph with the board.
Well, you could fill this arena twice.
You could probably go from Oracle to the Chase Center. Just line up 38,000 people. We got a good one. The first of an amazing 5-game stretch. Zach Randolph.
That typifies Zach Randolph and his 17 years. He knows where the rim is when he's in the paint. He doesn't have to have his face in the basket. He just knows how to find it.
Barnes set a great screen here. Doubling Curry.
That was just good help from Ennis.
I think we said Zebo does not want to contest corner threes.
Well, that's the second one Stephen Curry's hit with him in the vicinity. You're right.
Steph's got 9.
That's why he's launching it there. He likes getting a switch.
Got to help Curry on JaMychal Green and Ennis. You see Ennis right there. That double's got to come quicker. Steph doesn't have a shot there. Memphis back on top. Free throw after the timeout. 2:57 remaining in the first half. And the Grizz giving the Warriors all they want.
There we go. Thank you. 59%. Why? Because they've got 26 points in the paint. And they've only got 4 fast break points. The Warriors get a lot of points in the paint via the fast break. Warriors have 14 points, but they've got 14 fast break points. Okay? So Grizzlies do it in their half-court offense, overpowering you, just like we saw Ennis. He just ran roughshod over his defender, and he got a 3-point play out of it.
Well, and Steph got whacked in the nose, which is why he's got the cotton in the nostril there.
So their points in the paint, they earn them, and you pay the price. 26 already points in the paint.
Warriors average 116 points a game. They're being bottled up a little bit. Iguodala is leading the way. Andre's got 13. And we're tied again. 10 lead changes, 5 ties. Neither team getting any separation.
Andre's going to see a lot of minutes tonight if it continues in this fashion. Conley's even pushing off on Stephen. I like the battle.
Conley off iron. Andre with the rebound. Curry ahead to Barnes. Barnes was a former Grizzly member. Just see how well they played defensively. I mean, Ennis denied, then Randolph and Allen in the passing lane. Zebo runs the floor.
It's over when you get in there usually.
And Steph knocked it away from Allen.
They saved that one. Nice job.
Steph. He just beat a guy that played against his dad.
That was a little trickster, by the way. Showing the ball, let him jump out of the way, and he shoot it flat-footed. I'm not sure he even got off the ground. I don't think he did until the ball was released.
Minute 35 as Memphis takes time. The Warriors push it back up a deuce.
Some of y'all might get with this, and some of y'all won't, but listen, let me clear my throat. Oh, have mercy, babe. Ha! I hope you don't mind. Let me clear my throat. Special dedication going out to everybody here in Bahama Bay, in Philadelphia.
Excluding yourself, if you could pick one guy on this team that'd make the transition from the hardwood to the boxing ring.
David West.
Just like that.
Not even close, man.
Give me one reason why. Give me a couple reasons why.
Number one, he owns a boxing gym in North Carolina.
Well, there you go.
He boxed all summer long.
Okay.
And he a bully, man. If you see D. West, he be out there picking with people waiting on somebody to try to fight him. David West, 100%.
Yeah, I like that.
So Draymond Green and Andre Ward going back and forth. A couple customers you would not want to mess with on most occasions. You can check out more of that on CSN Bay Area, both pre and post game. Conley's very clever.
He just came up and under in the air to get 2 from Barnes.
And we talked about taking care of the ball against Memphis, how difficult it can be. So the Warriors were 10 of 23 shooting in the first quarter. They're 9 of 15 here in the second, but only 3 turnovers in each quarter. And you can live with that, Jim, because the game in Memphis, all the turnovers, all the runouts that first time was miserable.
Memphis was plus 22 in points off turnovers. They gave them 33 points off turnovers, which is enormous.
Yeah, tonight it's plus 4. The first half almost concluded. Zebo doing work, 10 points, 4 boards as he sits. Mike Conley is living at the foul line. So clever. He's now 7 of 7.
As I say, not with strength, not with size, but with finesse and a little skill.
Yeah, he's got a little guile going. Oh, Iguodala on that interchange. That was a nifty little play. When Curry flashed, everyone went with Stephen, and Andre was able to turn the corner.
I like that little sideline play. And sometimes you can do it as you dribble in sideways. Now he's just going fast, and all of a sudden, yes, both of them say, we better stick with Curry. And usually the #1 rule is protect the basket. You stick with the man going to the basket, not the man going away. But with Curry's ability to shoot threes, it changes that philosophy.
Also, too, without Durant, we've seen teams sell out on Curry and Clay and just say, all right, anyone else that can beat us, knock yourself out. But, particularly Fizdale and Key Smart, both former Warrior assistants that know this franchise so well, they don't want Steph or Clay going, and they've got them 7 of 18 here in the first half, so their game plan is working.
So Andre misses the first one. Let's see how he handles this one.
And Iguodala's got 14 to lead the Warriors.
Picture perfect.
Final minute of a very well-played half. The Grizzlies shooting 56%, Warriors 50%. We've seen tough defense. We've seen rugged rebounding. And
how tough is Zach Randolph? He just took Draymond Green. I think it's going to be the defensive player of the year. And he took him to task right to the rim level. As I say, he doesn't reach with quickness, but he reached with his size, his bulk, his ability to do that.
Barnes on the kick out, Clay in the corner. Very well done, and Matt Barnes played the Draymond Green role to perfection.
You just can't give help if you're defending on Klay Thompson. And I think it was Ennis who made that mistake. He got switched out there, didn't stay close enough.
ISO Zebo again. Strength on strength. And they force him to pass.
Oh, that's...
Pass never bounced up. It was the right idea, couldn't get the elevation.
You drive, right there. Yes, it was Ennis. He just came in a little too far and he couldn't recover.
Warriors were down 3 at the end of 1. Memphis can't quite freeze it out here. 4-second separation, ending the half. Conley going to call his own number.
How about that quickness?
Draymond blocking it. And then the goaltend call will stop the break. It was so loud in here, you couldn't hear the whistle.
Well, Conley beats his man up top around Klay Thompson. Let's see if this hits the backboard before it was blocked. Tough to see, we don't know. He was right at it. But even if it hadn't been the backboard, it might have already reached its peak.
Warriors are going to use that 20-second timeout that goes away here with the game tied at 54. And this is exactly what we would expect in these 5 games, playing 5 straight playoff teams. And for the Warriors, yes, you're playing at Memphis's pace and tempo, but the second quarter, you're minimizing turnovers, you're moving the ball, and they're 9 of 18 on threes.
You just cannot take any time off, and you've got to hit your threes tonight. It's a good job that they're doing that, because Memphis keeps coming at you, and they're going to drill it, and they're going to make you pay inside.
And so for the Warriors, they'll lose this 20-second timeout anyway, but Steve, I think, psychologically it'd be good to have the lead at the half. Is that Memphis have been playing with an 8-point lead. They led at the end of one. It's just, you know, go in. Memphis got to feel like they've played as quality basketball as they can play.
Well, these are two experienced teams. The mainstays are experienced players, so they're not going to worry too much about, you know, 4 points ahead, 4 points behind. They're worried about, you know, what do we have to do against this team? What's hurting us and what's helping us, and then you decide what you're going to do. They know either team is capable of winning this game if it's under 10 points, no matter which way it goes. So they're going to come out, and a lot of these times during these, they don't even look at the score.
Down to 2 seconds here, and Iguodala was fouled, and that will be free throws.
Grizzlies foul charge to 15.
Now, what is alarming for Steve Kerr when you talk about halftime, Memphis is the worst shooting team in the NBA, and they're shooting 58% in the first half.
Because they're going inside.
Yep.
I mean, they're 2 of 9 from 3-point range, and with the Warriors shooting at 50%, it hasn't made up the difference.
Right.
Normally you would say, oh, you're 9 of 18. Warriors got to be ahead by about a dozen at least, but not tonight.
I wonder if they will start double-teaming Randolph a bit more. Iguodala dropping in the free throw. Tonight only 50% off the purchase of any Christmas or All-Star jerseys. Available only tonight at WarriorTeamStore.com. Grab one of those before they're gone. Take that 50% off. Andre Iguodala is reborn as a free thrower. 4 of 5 here.
Just don't foul.
Handoff from midcourt, and the Warriors do have the lead at the half. Andre Iguodala with 16, Curry 11, Clay with 10. JaMychal Green 12, Randolph 12, Conley 12, and a very good first half of basketball at Oracle. 56-54. These teams are going to the playoffs, and they're playing like it. And Roz is alongside Andre Iguodala.
Andre, you've been stringing together a lot of great games. How do you feel about the groove you're in right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's about that time you want to be in a good rhythm for the playoffs to start. Not turning it up, but just, you know, being aware, starting to get into that playoff mode where, you know, every game you're locked in, you know the schemes offensively and defensively, and just trying to bring energy for our team.
And Coach Kerr, in the first quarter, he had talked about pace, wanting it to be more up-tempo. What is it that makes it so hard from this team to get up and down the court?
Well, it starts on defense. You know, we've had a few situations. We lost a few games in a row on our road trip where we weren't getting stops. We don't get stops. We don't get the pace we want. So, you know, 54 points for them is a lot in the half. So we got to step it up defensively and turn those into offensive transition baskets.
All right, thanks, Andre.
Thanks.
Guys?
I think he assessed it nicely. 54, a little too much for Memphis. And a little too good a shooting for the Grizzlies at 56%. Greg, Gary, and Coletta in the studio. Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box, coming at you straight ahead. And this Memphis shooting is a bit alarming. The Warriors threes are key. The bench for the Warriors continues their fine play, but either double team or have to do something different because Memphis is pounding you inside.
Yeah, and it's tough because then you want to keep them off the line, but you just got to grind this out. That's why they call it the grindhouse in Memphis when you play them there.
Moments ago, our Roz Goldon-Woode caught up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach, the Grizzlies are still shooting about 56% at halftime with Andre. He said he wanted more on the defensive end. Where does it have to start on defense?
Well, right now they're doing a really good job of running their offense through Zach Randolph on the block. We're going to mix it up with some double teams and some traps. We want to speed them up, obviously, and get stops, and then obviously play in the open court.
So is Zach Randolph like the focal point of all of this? Does it start with making him uncomfortable?
Exactly right. I mean, Zach's doing a really good job of facilitating and scoring from down low. Obviously, Mike Conley is big for them on the offensive end. But the things that we can do to speed up Zach, speed up his decision-making process, hopefully force some turnovers, and then get out into the open court.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ross.
Speed him up and get him out of the open court. Sometimes easier said than done against Memphis. And so for the Warriors, Iguodala, Stephen Clay, Conley, Randolph, and I think JaMychal Green's 12 points. It's not just that he had 12, but he was 6 of 7 shooting. Randolph is 6 of 9 shooting. It's that efficiency for Memphis inside. Wouldn't have expected any less in this week, Jim, with these 5 straight playoff teams. These are all going to be high-level games.
Well, let's see how Draymond defends in this half. These guys make it tough on him. You just got to be careful with the ball. They're a little sloppy.
Clay setting up. Pachulia dropped it initially, finally got it back.
You got to get rid of it. Yep. If you don't get rid of it there, easier said than done.
So Mike Conley, Tony Allen, JaMychal Green, Vince Carter, and Randolph. Steph, Clay, Draymond, with Pachulia and Patrick McCaw. There's no Durant tonight, but there's no Marc Gasol, so both teams missing a superstar. Zebo's going to tee up a 3.
I like him launching a 3. He's made 20 this year, but he's taken 80.
Let me just repeat you. I like him launching a 3, but I was referring to Klay Thompson.
Okay. Well, now they're 10 of 19.
After starting 4 of 12, that's fabulous.
Let's see if they can prevent people catching the ball in the lane so much. Someone's got to come and give help, and that's what McCaw did.
Draymond played great defense.
These aren't what you would call great moves. He's just trying to bang, 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 get closer inside so he can just go up and over you in the lane.
Only 5 to shoot.
Keep Zach out there, you're in better shape.
It's Carter from deep. The Warriors have picked up their defense in the first minute here. Guys in blue are have a little energy to them. Curry triple.
Right on line, just a little long. Carter, by the way, is 0 for 3.
Tony Allen. They have some veterans that just really know how to play and know what their strengths are.
And yes, because all of a sudden he had a lane, and Stephen Curry knows he can overpower him, and that's exactly what he did.
And Allen comes up with a steal.
You've got to be doubly careful when Allen is on the side of the court. You're going to throw to someone that he's defending or he's in the vicinity, because that's what he's looking for, steals all the time.
Allen slashing again. That's not deflected initially. That's 3 in the key. Randolph had posted up. He had pitched a tent. He was building a campfire. And then finally he was called for 3 seconds.
Yeah, it might have been Allen in there as well all that time.
Yeah. When he took the s'mores out, Jim, and was roasting them over that campfire, I knew he was in the lane a really long time. Zaza, little bank shot, no. And that will be Memphis ball. All the attention goes on Curry and Clay. They're daring other guys in blue to beat them.
Yeah, Zaza's stuck on 2 points. McCaw yet to score. Only taken 1 shot because he didn't play a lot of minutes, but when he's out there, he's got to score.
Playing defense against Randolph and Conley, this is like going to the dentist. They're going to use the whole shot clock. They're going to wear you down. Vince Carter ties the game. Nothing free and easy against the Grizz. Klay Thompson catch and shoot 3. This is a good sign. 2 threes for Klay here in the 3rd.
Well, let's watch Allen next time down. He just gave him too much room, and he's disgusted with himself.
Conley.
It's just hard to pull away from these guys, isn't it?
No, and he hid behind Randolph nicely. So Memphis not going away. Conley 15, Steph 11. We talked about that point guard matchup. They do it differently, but they're both very effective. Klay Thompson. Yep. Oh, it'd be good to see him get really hot.
He's in a little zone here, and they should go to him every time until, and this is the worst thing that can happen for him right now, is getting a timeout.
And that's why Fizdale used that timeout. He said, wait a minute, I've seen this movie before. And so a 20-second timeout. And Klay, 3 threes here in the 3rd.
Tony got caught just sagging to the ball a little too much. And of course, Vince Carter at age 40, excuse me, doesn't want to venture too far away from the ball, away from the basket in there, and knows he'll get beaten.
You can enjoy the playoffs from the comfort of a private premium suite. Sign up to secure the priority access to the best available suite locations. Place a deposit tonight at 888-GSW-HOOP. And enjoy the sweet life presented by City National Bank. After tonight, only 9 games remaining. The playoffs are fast approaching. Klay Thompson, all 8 of the Warrior points here in the quarter. And to Jim's point, Fizdale and other experienced coaches break up the rhythm, stop the game, use the timeout. Just don't let him get on a roll.
Yeah, it's good that it was only a 20-second timeout, which were long 20 seconds, by the way. This game's like March Madness. It's like one of the games we've been seeing. Some of the games we've been seeing. Makes it exciting. He's grabbing him there tightly.
Zaza a little too much physicality.
I don't think that Zaza should close out that closely on Zach Randolph that far from the basket, because Randolph isn't quick, and that's one reason he's doing it. But he's probably a little quicker facing up against Zaza.
So Randolph been doing it for a decade and a half. Now he's only started 3 games this year, and I think David Fizdale did a great job. Dave Yeager and Zach got a little at odds on this. Fizdale kind of said, look, if I bring you off the bench, I can extend your career. You will kill reserve power forwards.
Good point.
I'm putting you in the best position to succeed. And Randolph said, that's fine. If that's what's best for the team, that'll work.
He's playing 24 minutes a night.
Stephen couldn't get the step through. Out of bounds to Memphis.
Curry's just having a difficult time finishing tonight around the basket, which is very unusual.
Steph 4 of 12 here. Conley is something. He waited for Randolph. They sagged off him, and Mike Conley buries the jumper. We're tied again.
For a man that has the ball in his hands an awful lot, he's not always hunting for his own shots.
Allen, nothing comes easy against Memphis.
Well, they're tied at 64. I'll say something about that, because you ready for this? What was it? 1974. On this date in 1974, Rick Barry had 64 points himself.
Okay, I like it.
Against the Blazers. I remember that game. I got 2 technicals and got kicked out, and we lost the game. We lost the game at home, and Rick had 64.
You were so upset Rick was shooting so much, or why'd you get the tees?
No, well, no, it was never about that. I didn't like the officiating, obviously. I don't remember exactly why, but Randolph gets that to go. But the thing is, that's the last 60-point game by the Warriors until Klay Thompson got his 60 this year.
Yeah, 60 in 3 quarters against Indiana. Memphis retaking the lead. Barnes with the passing crash. That'll be an offensive foul.
All right, this is an important part of the game here. You've got to stay with Memphis. Not let them, when they get an 8 or a 10-point lead, if it extended to that, it's an obvious crash, offensive foul. If they get a double-digit lead, if they got 10 points, it's like 20 points to a normal team.
Right.
So you've got to keep it close.
Also, too, the slow grinding pace, it takes the crowd out of the game. You don't have that normal oracle exultation. Like I said, it's like going to the dentist when you play this team. Steph knocked it away. It'd still be Memphis ball with 6 to shoot.
They had to scramble on that one, though. Conley had daylight to the rim, either finish or kick it out to a wide open 3.
Shot clock at 3, deflected by Draymond. He will hit it out to Steph. Good awareness. It's a 2-on-1, and Klay will soar in. That's great awareness by Draymond Green.
Well, right now, that's your play of the game. Right there. That ball did not go out of bounds, hit the top of the backboard and carried him back to the vicinity of Draymond. That's a great play. That is tremendous.
Memphis 12, Klay 10 here in the 3rd. There's the double team. We didn't see a lot of that in the first half. Dare anyone but Randolph to beat you.
This guy's having quite a day. He goes in and out.
Allen will draw a foul on that offensive rebound.
Well, the possession before deflected off the corner and top of the backboard, and Draymond caught everybody sleeping except these two guys. Nice play.
Crowd did not like the foul call here on Tony Allen.
How about this? How often do you see Steve Kerr saying, let's give double team help when Draymond is defending a man?
No, never. So Allen snuck in, and
there's a foul right there. I mean,
he called it on Matt Barnes. They've got some arm as he swung his arm there.
If he didn't foul him, the inside defender did. But here's the point. Hey, they dodged it there. They dodged it.
Well, you know why we know it wasn't a foul? Because Rasheed Wallace would say the ball don't lie. Those free throws missed. Big rebounder in the sky, even things up.
He likes the corner better.
Barnes hitting a corner three.
He likes the corner much better.
You talked about it at halftime, Jim. We're still seeing it. 12 of 22 on threes, and still the Warriors are only up 3.
Yeah.
That's what you've needed.
It's cause for worry.
That's how well Memphis is playing. Shot clock at 4.
See, they don't have to double up top. But when he gets in the lane, maybe you do.
Shot clock at 0 as Harrison. That's an air ball and a 24-second violation. I think it's a good thing to double Randolph. He does not want to pass anyway.
Wait until he gets in the lane, though, and he held the ball too long there, and it cost him.
So a timeout on the floor. Some Warrior defensive adjustments. Trying to bottle up Zebo a little bit. Clinging to the three-point lead.
Let's take a look. It's 2.
I tell you what, you think of the NFL with the Chargers, the Raiders, some seismic shifts in the NFL landscape. See if they have that vote tomorrow. So Libby Schaff and Ray Ratto will talk about it on Warrior Postgame Live, and then right after that, CSN Bay Area. Cut by Matt Barnes and rewarded by Draymond Green. So that's the Warriors' very efficient play drawn out of the timeout. Can they get any separation, Jim? This equals the largest advantage at only 5. There's the double team, and it ricocheted back to Randolph. And sometimes you got to be lucky rather than good, and that'll be Warrior ball.
Boy, when Randolph got that ball and he knew Barnes was away, they knew he wouldn't get double teamed, he went right to the rack, and it just trickled out.
Memphis 55%, Warriors 54%. High-level game. Klay Thompson down the lane, hanging and finishing.
He's getting better at sailing through the air and finishing the play after he starts to come down, which isn't easy to do. It was difficult for him his first few years. He's doing better. I like that.
Beautiful quarter for Klay with 12 points in the third.
Sometimes you have to take off a little further out than you want to beat your men.
Vince Carter.
He finally gets one to go. He shoots a lot of threes nowadays because he doesn't have the first step and the explosiveness like he used to.
Barnes cutting. All that attention on Steph.
That's why he kept the dribble line side to side to keep 2 men occupied. Perfectly done.
So the adjustments are going both ways. You want to send multiple players on Curry, he's going to make you pay. If you want to spread it out and go one-on-one, well then Klay's going to get right to the rim. Steve Kerr enjoying the 6-point lead.
For Stephen Curry, but upon arrival, they found the third-party tickets didn't work. Isaiah said he felt sad and mad and terrible and embarrassed. Well, guys, the Warriors tried to give Isaiah a smile today. They flew him and his mom in from Georgia. They have courtside seats to tonight's game, and he's already met Stephen Curry. And for those curious to buy 100% safe, guaranteed tickets, go to Warriors.com.
Yeah, I tell you, Roz, that happened when the Warriors played in Atlanta. Joe Lacob found out about it and then said, no, come out and be my guest at a Warrior game. We'll fly you out here. You sit right next to me, and we'll take care of that, because that Isaiah was heartbroken.
Great story.
He couldn't get into the Warrior-Hawks game in Atlanta because of fake tickets. And, you know, the Celtics game here, Jim, there were 58 fake tickets sold here at Oracle. So the only place you're buying tickets that are legit are Warriors.com, and you got to be careful with that. Harrison misfiring. Lead at 6 now. Barnes is 3 of 3. Clay is 7 of 7. And Steph bottled up there. And Draymond will pick up the foul as he stops the break.
If he'd stayed there without reaching in, I think it could have been a charge.
He would have been run over.
Yeah, he reached in, though, and got a lot of contact. Put the arms back, let him run into you. It's not going to hurt. Let's watch and see if he was there in time. He's waiting. Gets there. Yeah, he reached in. Heck, I think if he puts those arms back, that's going to be a charge.
I tell you, for Andrew Harrison, he just ran into a telephone pole.
Right, but he got bailed out.
3 Warrior team fouls. Memphis has played 9 minutes without being called for a foul here in the third. Team that commits the second most fouls in the NBA. Well, and Vince Carter can still high rise.
I'm wondering how many games it's taken between him doing that and the last time. That doesn't happen too often, and that's not a good sign of defense there.
Steph backdoor. Brandon Wright rotated. Matt Barnes hit the side of the backboard, but he was fouled, and Ennis didn't like it. So 40 years of age.
Draymond didn't step in here. He went out. He thought he was going to get rid of the ball. Draymond did not step inside. This is very unusual.
This is a disaster foul for Ennis. He fouls Barnes shooting that 3. Memphis had just had the dunk. They had the rebound. And instead, 3 free throws for Matt Barnes.
Well, they know he likes that corner. He's been effective tonight. Iguodala's been effective. They just haven't got a lot of scoring, actually, you know, from the front line.
Well, Matt Barnes didn't score in the first half, so he's got 9.
Yeah, he's fine
here in the quarters, but he and Clay have been outstanding. And 3 for 3 on threes. He drops in that free throw. And so for Matt, 78% free thrower, 3 for 3. Harrison couldn't finish there. Oh, Draymond Green's going to be called for the foul as he batted it forward here in a loose ball situation.
The play's over. The shot's missed. The rebound is tipped back out as Steve Kerr. The play's over. Let's watch this. Okay, so Draymond comes from up top. Oh my. That's I'm surprised.
Well, players miss shots and officials miss calls, and that was an air ball of a call. It happens. Shot clock at 3. Troy Daniels, deadly three-point shooter, and Livingston knew that. Sean was right with them, very smart. Iguodala, change of speed!
Around the point guard, Mike Conley. Well, we know Mike Conley's quick offensively, but he didn't move his feet on that one. And Iguodala with a terrific, strong finish. Great ball handling.
Daniels.
He likes it from there.
That was from the hash mark.
He killed the Warriors in game 1 in Memphis.
He made those 4 threes, changed the game. Draymond runner, and he will get to the line.
Watch this little zigzag by Andre.
Crossover, and the Sunday slam.
Right by Brandon Wright and right around Mike Conley.
Ian Clark and the Warrior bench having fun with that one. Iguodala has had 2 tomahawks in this game. I know they're wearing the retro crossover jerseys. I did not know it was turn the clock back.
Well,
between Vince Carter and Andre, just crushing a few of these dunks. Free throw split. Minute and a half remaining in the third here. Had to work for everything against Memphis. Steph trying to stay with Conley. Shot clock at 7. Clear aside for him. That step back jumper. Oh, Mike Conley. He and Curry going back and forth, and Conley's got 19.
It's hard for either team to pull away. We'll see what happens in the fourth.
Draymond looking for cutters.
First, you got a minute left here.
Steph reload 3. Just off iron.
That was all set up by the movement of Andre. He moved the defense that way and it got Curry open. Couldn't convert.
Memphis up 3 at the end of 1. Warriors up 2 at halftime. Conley
he does
making it a 2-point game again.
He does a little bit of Curry. Little zigzag back step. Pretty effectively.
He's the best point guard nobody talks about.
They finally 40% this year from threes. Getting better.
Draymond wanted a little contact, didn't get it. It'll end up being a 2-for-1 here. And it's right to the rim.
With Brandon Wright defending at the end back there, Draymond usually doesn't mind missing that shot. He goes and gets it just like Moses Malone used to, puts it back up. He didn't have a chance with the long arms of Brandon Wright.
So 7-0 Memphis run to tie the game. Single-second game shot clock difference. This is Curry the closer time. Steph with a step back. Got it.
Well, we got a big fourth quarter looming.
Be careful here. The final 2 seconds. Jumper on the way, and it's an air ball. So it was a 2-point lead at halftime. It's a 2-point lead heading into the fourth. Both teams shooting 55%. Memphis and the Warriors, it always seems to come down to the wire. Where Conley had 10 of his 22, Clay had 12 of his 22. And a 2-point lead as we head into the fourth, and you got to watch Troy Daniels. 3-point Bombardiers, Jim mentioned, instrumental in Memphis win here. Brandon Wright. He was played very nicely by David West, losing that out of bounds. 115-4 when leading after 3. Memphis, that was the one that hurt with the big comeback here at Oracle. Warriors blowing the big lead. Klay Thompson has not cooled off. He's got 25, 5 of 8 on threes.
He looks down to see if he's behind the line. Usually that disrupts someone's shot. But Klay then refocuses as well as anybody I've ever seen.
McDaniels dribble the ball. Rebound battle, Iguodala tipping out to Clark.
That wasn't easy against Green.
Andre down the lane, went behind the back. It still got to David West, but he couldn't lay it in.
The pass surprised him, which affected his shot. Heck of a play.
Conley, well thrown. Perfect lob. When Mike Conley played with Greg Oden, it was Oden who was the #1 pick in the draft. Durant was second that year. It's Conley that's become the star. But Oden's physical problems, his career never materialized. They were teammates.
Taking advantage of the post-up, and he just short-armed it.
Oh, Barnes wanted a foul there, didn't get it.
He jammed it in there instead of going up and just shooting it nicely with a little arc off the bank, off the board, and the bank shot.
Matt's got his former teammate. See how clever Conley is with the right hand. David West came to help. Iguodala off to the races.
Plays open. He just needs an inch.
He got it. He's hit 9 of 9. Started 2 of 7. Has been perfect since.
I was a little fearful he wasn't going to get the ball. But he finally did, and he knows what to do with it.
That was the Gale Sayers, 6 inches of daylight. He just needs an inch. Clock at 3. Brandon Wright. Misfiring there. Ennis had it deflected out of bounds. Still Memphis ball. And we'll get Tony Allen in. Michael Green will sit. Green had 12 first half points. He got Memphis off to the good start. Hasn't scored since.
Warriors led by 9 midway through that third quarter. Protecting a 6-point lead now. See if they can extend it to double digits.
Conley, ball on a string there. Allen, you'd want him shooting threes, but Conley and Daniels answering with a triple.
It's a killer.
But it was Conley's offensive rebound. The Warriors had gotten the stop, but they don't secure the stop without the ball. Ian Clark just off iron. Game absolutely hanging there with a long way to go. Daniels missing with a long rebound right back to him. A warm-up 3, and the Warriors absolutely dodged one.
Yes, they did. Oh. I would have bet your house they had gone in.
Ian flipping it up and in.
They missed the easier one a moment ago. Got a nice bounce there. He'll take it.
You're saying if Daniels made that 3, I would have been homeless?
Didn't you think it was going in?
I did.
So did I. Can't believe he missed it.
Got to stay with Daniels. That's Ian Clark's whole job. Brandon Wright, nifty move with the physicality of David West. 5-point lead in the ball as Iguodala pushes. Dangerous pass stolen away. Tony Allen in the middle of all of it. Long 3. And the Warriors, they'll take Memphis quick shotting. That's not Memphis's game. James Ennis wants to shoot a corner 3. The Warriors can live with it.
He's a 39% shooter. They've got several of them. They don't have anybody over 40, just close to it.
He's made 9 in a row. The lead is 5, and Klay Thompson, he just needs an inch. He has been pretty good against the Warriors, but 0 for 5 on threes on that January 20th game.
What a game they had against OKC, though. They beat them 137-125, shot 63%, and they made 23s.
20 of 39.
Unbelievable. I still can't believe when I look at the stats and see if Klay can keep it going.
They've made 9 shots in a row, finally missing.
Well, they're 14 of 25 from 3. They've got 28 fast break points. They're shooting 53%, and they only have a 5-point lead. Tells you how Memphis can just keep it close with the way they play, the nature of their play.
Total high-level game. Andrew Harrison missing.
It feels like a playoff game.
Tony Allen just took that rebound away. These offensive boards are hurting.
Memphis has 11 of them.
David West deflected, shot clock at 11. Harrison tracks it down. Don't leave Daniels. Klay sold out to contest that 3. Big trip down. Ian, a little show and go. Shot clock at 7. And Barnes off iron. David West, the offensive rebound.
That's going to be an offensive foul. That's going to be an offensive foul. He just caused the collision. Now, I believe Daniels was in the restricted area, but the way the foul occurred, it was almost as if Barnes really wasn't looking to make the shot. He wanted to make sure the contact was there, and he just, both arms came crashing in.
It's incredible to me. Memphis still at 0 team fouls, and the Warriors at 0 team fouls in 5.5 minutes of very frenetic fourth quarter action. Offensive foul is not a team foul, in case you're wondering. Harrison bothered by Draymond. Draymond in full flight, and then the hustling play by Harrison to steal it, knock it away.
They've got numbers here. They took it to the other side. Harrison was wide open.
Post up Ian Clark. Ennis doubled. Harrison 3 on the way. These are the big rebounds, and David West is grabbing a bunch of them. They've hung there at this 5-point advantage. Ennis knocking it out of bounds. Timeout comes at a good time. Little over 5 minutes, protecting a 5-point lead.
Yeah, Warriors stuck on 9.
Over 2 minutes. The game has been frozen at 91-86. Our Jeep shot of the game. Curry to Barnes to Clay. And Klay Thompson, 6 made threes. Our Jeep shot of the game, and the kind of half-court passing you need against that excellent Memphis defense.
Well, let's see, with Klay Thompson out, Curry back in. See if we can get a little flurry Curry here. You know, at halftime, he had 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting. He went 1 of 4 in the third quarter, got 2 points. He played the entire quarter. So he's 5 of 14, 3 of 9 from 3, and let's see if it can become his time. They need it. He's got 13 in the game.
West, Iguodala, Draymond, Sean Livingston, and Stephen. Screen by David West.
You see the double team almost coming, leaving West open.
The pick and fade, and he dropped it down. A lot of guys pick and roll. David West is such a great shooter.
Yep, but at his age, you just can't finish inside like he used to. And he prefers that little set shot, little push.
Steve's got West in to deal with Zebo.
Yep, that's a screen I would go underneath.
Here it is, strength on strength here. Shot clock at 5.
The double team gonna come.
Randolph left it short. West another rebound.
Trouble is, if a double team comes, you leave an offensive rebounder in position. That's one reason Draymond doesn't want to do that.
Steph Curry dropping in a 3.
This is the time.
The man with the mustache said, how about a Curry flurry?
Biggest lead of the game.
They push it to double digits. The building springs to life, and Memphis takes time. For the game, Klay Thompson, he started 2 of 7, then made 9 shots in a row, had 12 in that third quarter. Our Xfinity player of the game, Klay Thompson, with the shots that you need to make against Memphis. You must hit perimeter shots. Their defense is that good. Klay's got 28 in 30 minutes, our Xfinity player of the game. In the second half, he's been brilliant.
Well, without that production, they wouldn't have the lead. Simple as that.
Iguodala, Draymond, Steph, Livingston, David West. Randolph, Vince Carter, JaMychal Green with Ennis and Conley. 2-man game, Conley and Randolph. And out of bounds, Conley stepped on the baseline. That's a key turnover by a savvy veteran. 14 Memphis turnovers, 15 by the Dubs. Warriors are +5 in points off turnovers. David West to an open Draymond. Iguodala on the baseline, and a 3-second violation. Livingston kept waiting for a shooter. Memphis kept covering up defensively.
You've got to count to yourself and slip out of there. Warriors had the defense moving there. That time they slipped. It was a pick and roll, and David West, he didn't even think about finishing, but they had Memphis moving and confused.
Now, we talk about the Memphis defense. How about the Warriors holding the Grizzlies 2 of 17 in this fourth quarter, and only 5 points. Conley rimming that in. So Mike Conley's got 24. They execute the final 4 minutes. They had a 19-point fourth quarter lead against Memphis. In the game prior against Oracle, it was one of the toughest losses we've seen the last couple of years.
Oh, look out.
Livingston is okay, but I'll tell you what, Ennis got up in the air and unfortunately didn't land on his head.
Well, James Ennis III thought he was going to go up and possibly go up to the other side of the basket. Instead, he turned and came back, which is not what you'd have a normal play from someone that at point-blank range.
And there's Memphis' first foul of the fourth quarter, and they got their money's worth.
Pachulia hasn't taken a free throw. McCall started hasn't taken. Thompson, Curry, neither one of them taking a free throw. And not that they deserve it all the time, but
step three is perfect.
Yep, step back.
2 fourth quarter threes for Stephen.
They don't want to have that same meltdown like they had January 6th in the fourth quarter when they were outscored 32-13. Same type of play as Livingston just a moment ago at this end. Starts to go, comes back. You can't guard that. You just hope he misses.
Second game in a row, Steph's had double-digit assists, though, Jim. Is that you look at his 19 with 10 assists, the 2 fourth quarter threes. He's made the adjustment in the 6-game winning streak. Okay, you're going to send 2-3 guys at me. I'll dice it up for the teammates, but when I need to, I will put my imprint on the game.
Well, he gets into a two-man game, and he then gets a little switch, or a partial switch, and he just kind of surveys the situation. Decides whether to shoot it, whether to drive, which way, left or right, to set up someone else. And Warriors, 45th game now with 30 or more assists.
Great stint by David West as he sits now. He had 5 rebounds.
I like his play.
Very strong. And the free throw split. So Zach Randolph is out. Brandon Wright is in. That's why David subbed out. He had matched Zebo's physicality. Steph nowhere to go. Ennis has trapped him a little bit. He'll weave out. Shot clock at 2. He knew it. And banked it home! He banked it home!
Let me tell you, he called that bank. That was not a lucky chance bounce. He knew exactly what he was doing.
8 in the fourth for Steph. Conley trying to answer. Barnes with a good rebound. Crowd still buzzing on that wizardry. Draymond's got Conley on him, but he had it knocked away.
I was just going to say, you do not want a turnover in this situation.
Conley, what an angle to finish there. Memphis not quite done yet.
Yeah, you have a chance to make a big imprint on the finality of the game, and you don't do it.
Tell you what, Conley and Curry have not disappointed. That point guard matchup's been amazing. Deflected, Vince Carter, what a steal!
What a save from the 40-year-old.
So 2 straight turnovers. Close out on Ennis, don't want to give up a 3 here. Brandon Wright, a little pogo stick missing. Rebound, Iguodala. Push ahead to Steph. Dropped it to Andre to hammer it home.
And Andre has another 20-point game.
Clay with 28, Steph with 21, Iguodala with 20, Curry with a shot clock at 0. Radar as he banked it home, and then Andre running, finishing, and the Warriors' biggest lead of the night comes at a very good time. Iguodala is 7 of 8 for his 20 points. He has played so well on both ends of the floor, and he started the break with that rebound. In the absence of Durant, Iguodala has just elevated his game.
Yes, he really has. He's just been rejuvenated. But the Warriors defense in the fourth quarter, that's when it's come to the front. 4 of 21 for Memphis and 1 of 7 from 3-point range. So the Warriors defend, and their offense came along, and Curry's had a nice fourth quarter at that offensive end.
Well, you look at how important this week is for the Warriors and their opponents, all of whom have already beaten the Warriors this year. Memphis tonight, but then at Houston, at San Antonio, Houston again, and then Washington. 5 straight playoff opponents, and looking at the final 9 after tonight, and you're 2 games clear of San Antonio, and you play the Spurs on Wednesday. We have every game the rest of the way on CSN, and you said earlier this has that playoff feel.
It does.
You know where it is, the playoff thing? It's that every possession matters. You just feel it.
Yeah, that's why I hated that Draymond Green turnover, but they came back and finished it themselves. Conley made that shot, but then they answered right away. No, there's definitely a little playoff feeling here.
Warriors
Tension.
have never lost when Iguodala goes for 20. At 15-0.
Well, this is the toughest schedule this week of the whole season, and it is certainly the most important week for the Warriors and their record and how it will turn out.
Vince Carter stripped by Iguodala. He did it on offense, and he just did it on defense.
He's smiling at Vince Carter. They've gone against each other for years, but Vince doesn't want any part of it. He doesn't want to smile now.
Iguodala had picked up the dribble. The shot clock at 7. Draymond on Troy Daniels, and tipping and just couldn't finish it.
See how sometimes he doesn't mind if he misses the first, he goes right after it, but didn't cash in there.
Zebo 3, that's offline. The fourth quarter defense by the Warriors has been simply spectacular. They've held Memphis to 10 points. 28, 26, 27, and 10 for the Grizzlies tonight.
4 of 22 shooting.
And Curry, oh, that was going to be the capper. Mike Conley, quick 3 in response.
Well, Curry's got an 8-point quarter.
Jim, if it was okay with you, this would be the last time we would see Memphis this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to see them in the playoffs.
Not in a 7-game series.
Yes, because it will go 7.
First personal, first team foul inside the last.
On to post-game live. Greg, Gary, Kalena getting ready to chat about this one. Alexa and Isaiah. I hope they had fun coming out from Atlanta, sitting courtside with Joe Lacob.
Well, I love that story.
The boss man doesn't let stories like that get off his radar.
Look at this. This is better than Christmas.
This excellent fourth quarter, and Clay will cap it off with 31. The Warriors tonight from 3, 17 of 31.
And Memphis still kept it relatively close.
That's how well the Warriors had to play.
It's essentially a 2-point game all the way until the fourth quarter, and that's what Memphis does to people. You've got to bring your very best.
Now, if it were staying how the standings look, San Antonio can play Memphis in the first round.
Yeah, thank you.
Let the Spurs deal with them.
Yes.
So the Warriors have now won 7 in a row, 59 and 14. We're down to 9 games, and off to see the Rockets and Spurs. The Warriors win it 106-94, shoot it at 54%, dominate the fourth quarter, and get 52 from Stephen Clay to offset Conley's 29. Warrior post-game live, presented by Honda, is right now.
For your Golden State Warriors,